Hello and welcome everyone to the 12th episode of the Let's Ask Expert initiative, where every month we are discussing different soft skills selected by our audience at the end of the episode. That's why we encourage you to stay to the end so that you will help us to influence the topic of the episode number 13. This time we also would like to just mention that based on the voting that we had at the end of episode 11, you have selected with majority of voice the topic of anxiety management. So this is the topic that we will be covering today with the group of wonderful experts, and I would like to invite you to this session. I would like to invite the experts right now, starting with the first expert in today's session. So we have Olha Avramenko. So Olga, welcome to the session. Could you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Hello, Jan. Hello, our audience. It's nice to be here. Thank you for the invite. My name is Olha, and I am a clinical psychologist. I have a master's degree in clinical psychology. I have 8 years of experience in counseling and training because I'm also a soft skills trainer here at EPAM. And I hope that my expertise, my knowledge, and my advices, tips, and tricks on anxiety will help you with your selected skill today. And I think that's it from me for now.
Thank you so much for being here with us today. We also have from Bulgaria, Smilen. So Smilen, could you please also introduce yourself to our audience?
Certainly. Nice to meet you, everyone. My name is Smilen. I'm based in Sofia, Bulgaria, and I have 10 years of experience in EPAM where I played multiple roles, starting from senior engineer, team lead, and then I moved through Scrum Master, Agile coach, and finally my current role as a senior delivery manager. My focus is mostly around the technical side. I would say that I'm an introvert by soul and by mindset. And I have been mostly focused on the technical side of delivery. Nice to meet you.
So happy to have you here with us today, and I'm sure that some of our audience who are also introverts will be happy to see what are the tools or techniques how to manage anxiety being an introverted person. And last but not least, we have our former EPAMer. So this is the second time actually that the Let's Ask Expert is visiting an external guest, but with EPAM roots. So Paweł, welcome to our session today. Could you please also introduce yourself to our audience?
Hi everyone. Looks like my ties with EPAM are not severed that much. So I used to work for EPAM 4 years, I think, as a lead system engineer. Now I'm changing my career path, let's say, from cloud architect to developer advocate. What else? I think that this will be quite interesting discussion. So looking forward to that different perspective, different points of view. So yeah.
So in that case, without further ado, let us begin today's session. So I'm stopping to share the screen. We can have a conversation, face-to-face one. And let me first start with the opening question that I have prepared for you, because each and every one of you comes from a different background, has different role at EPAM or in a different company right now, Paweł, as you. So I would like to ask you about when it comes to dealing with anxiety, what is your personal experience with it? Like, how does your role that you play on a daily basis at EPAM triggers the anxiety, or how it can manifest in the position that you are performing at EPAM? So maybe, Olga, let's start with you.
Okay, thank you. The toughest question for me.
But also, you can
Thank
say,
you
as
for
the first
that.
person, you can say, the most and take the easiest type of answer for yourself and give
Yeah,
Paweł
actually,
and Smilen.
this is a good benefit, and this is one method to calm the anxiety. Go first, whatever you're doing. You have a nice benefit before others, and you have less time to be worried about something while waiting. So yeah, about your question, I was thinking about that actually. Because my role at EPAM and also my other activities outside the company is usually about public speaking and public appearance. And when I'm doing a training on a public speaking, I usually say that anxiety, like public speaking anxiety or fear of public speaking, is a normal part of any public speaking activity. So it's not going anywhere completely. It's always with you, and participants usually ask me like, okay, you have 8 years of experience in public speaking. How is your fear of public speaking? And I say it's always with me. It's always next to me. So that's why, like, if I have trainings every day I'm dealing with my anxiety on public speaking, even though I have a good experience, even though I have good expertise, I still have it, and I don't mind it. Actually, it helps me to do better. It helps me to achieve more, and it helps me to find new interesting ways to showcase the information or anything I would like to my participants. So that's my idea of helpful anxiety on our job.
Mm-hmm. Smilen, how it is on your side, as a senior delivery manager? How does anxiety manifest in your role?
Well, many people think that when you get more experienced, it disappears, but as Olga said, it stays. And intentionally or not, I have put myself into roles that were multiplying this anxiety by the 1,000th factor, mostly because I moved from the technical side to more client-facing roles, which again, they create a lot of anxiety, mostly because you're never in full control of the situation, of the environment, and of the context. So you need to be very agile, let me use this word, to survive in this kind of environment. And also, it's something common for delivery managers in EPAM. You join multiple projects, and I have seen that changing the project is as stressful as the first time I changed my project in EPAM. For the 10 years, it hasn't changed even a little, which I find fascinating.
Yeah, I think I have the same experience that every time I join a brand new project, I'm thinking I would like to have the performance on the day one of the new project, same as I have on the last day on the previous one. And it's just not the case, right? And that expectation level that I put on myself just really also raises the anxiety, but also increases the imposter syndrome. Yeah, so that's also
certainly
something that we can experience. Paweł, what about yourself? I think you,
Well,
as a also conference speaker, appearing many times on the stages, are
yeah.
already used to that a bit, to that feeling.
Well, yes, it's my friend right now, I would say, but still it is somewhere, right? And exactly what Olha said. If doesn't matter if you are on stage 100 times, 200 times. I was probably around 200 times already. Every single time there is some kind of fear behind, right? But the point is that what you can learn and what you should learn is to make it your friend, as I said, not have this like disappeared. Because if you are not scared, let me say that, before you go to the stage or change your project or whatever, it means two things, really. First, you don't care. Second, well, you are a little bit scary.
Like a sociopath, right?
Yeah.
Kind of detached from your emotions and the feelings. Okay, so we know now, and our audience knows how the anxiety can manifest in your role. But exactly, what would be the symptoms that you can spot? So how does it typically manifest? Like, what are the elements that can help you spot that actually you are feeling anxious? So maybe Paweł, let's now start with you.
Yeah. So it can manifest in different ways. Really, it depends on the situation. Depends. The best word from the DevOps person, right?
I thought this was always the BA answer, that it depends.
Yes.
And also a
from
psychologist
everyone.
answer,
Yeah.
so that's cool.
Yeah. So this is the answer to every question in the world. So you may have, like, let's say, physical manifestations, right? So you can sweat, you can have like dry mouth, you can feel like you know you are shaking or whatever, right? You can have even some kind of internal things. For me, for example, I have sometimes the situation like imagine that there is someone inside your head taking your eyes and doing this, right? So you know, it can manifest in different ways, and you can expect the unexpected, really, in this case.
Mm-hmm. Olga, how it is for you? How does anxiety manifest in your case?
Also depends on the situation, depends on the root cause of anxiety I'm experiencing. And also like the most popular is feeling out of breath. And usually I'm pretty amused about that because like public speaking, I need to breathe normally to talk normally. And my anxiety sometimes tries to do weird things with my voice. So when I'm out of breath, I can't speak normally. And this is really not a friendly way of my anxiety to help me. But it's fine, like 2-3 minutes into the talking, and it's all aligned. And also sometimes it's like more prolonged symptom of my anxiety if I have like not online events, but offline events like in office or in big audiences when I'm with people in one room, and after the training or the lecture I will feel some back pain. Like it won't be like something enormous that I can't walk. No, I just feel a little bit of that, and this is like postponed symptom of my anxiety that I didn't feel before because I was concentrated on the job. But I can feel it afterwards. So sometimes is that.
Yeah, neck and jaw, the same.
Yeah.
Or sometimes, you know, for me, when an event, for example, like this is finished, it's like someone turns off the switch and turns off the off button. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and you know, I just really feel I need to take a nap. Just
You
to
need
like,
to replenish, right?
exactly. Smilen, what about yourself? How do you cope with, you know, those difficult conversations with the customers if you're now, you know, in this client-facing role?
The main issues on my side are that you're constantly having such kind of challenges on daily basis. You can have 10 to 100 such cases with different impact. So I think the main symptom on my side is always thinking about it or reiterating it over the days and the nights. Usually this is connected to bad sleep until you can fix that. And as a software developer, I was usually focused on problem solving, but many of those situations cannot be solved in one meeting or one engagement, and some of them cannot be even solved at all. So you need to create this fortitude that some of the things cannot be handled by you. But then you go to the other direction, which I have seen in many people, especially some hardcore senior developers I know for 20, 30 years, which they usually do not care. Like you can reach to the other.
Oh, I think we've lost the voice from Smilen.
Yeah.
Something might be wrong with the microphone. And still nothing. So maybe something wrong with the headset or with the cable. We'll get back to you with the next question in that case, while you work on the audio issue. So the next question which I have for you is, okay, we are now facing a situation. We know what is anxiety. We know how it can manifest. So let's not think about what tools or habits or what kind of things we can do to actually reduce that feeling of anxiety. Are there any tools, any habits that worked for you, and some of those that didn't work for you? So maybe Olga, how it is on your side? What works, what doesn't work for dealing with anxiety?
I would like to continue the idea of Smilen. I really like the attitude to don't care because it works best for me in some cases, not in all cases, but in some cases is the best medicine. Which cases are they? Cases when I am not in control of the situation. So if nothing is changing from my side, like I can do anything, but it won't change the situation, then I don't care, and I'm free from anxiety because it is what it is, you know. So this is the best way, but it's as I said, not always the case. So the second, my most favorite way to deal with anxiety is to do nothing with it. If I'm out of breath, it's fine. I'm out of breath. I'm waiting for my body to calm down and do its thing. If I feel some pain, okay, I will walk a little bit. I will rest a little bit. So I won't do anything extra special for my anxiety because I don't because it's not the moment when it interferes. Because it's a normal part of my job, of my life. But sometimes we can get the interfering anxiety. And in these cases, some techniques could be really helpful. For me, is the activity. Like any kind of activity that I can do here and now, I really like to do that. So if it's just walking, running, painting, building furniture, I don't know, anything that I can do with my hands, it's really great. Why it's working with me? Because it helps me to concentrate in the moment. Because anxiety usually is about the future or about imaginary future. So when I'm in the moment, I don't have the idea of this future that is constantly working on me, trying to do some weird things with my imagination. And I'm in the moment. I'm building furniture. I'm looking for the screws, and it's fine for me here and now. So that's why I like the active way to deal with anxiety that interferes.
I think it also kind of gives you this sense of being in control of the moment when you might be
Absolutely.
stressing out, spiraling out of control because of this anxiety. Suddenly, you have something that you can control and you can build on top of that. But sometimes, when you mentioned about this, that you can something is in your control, something is not in your control. Sometimes there is also the gray area where you don't know whether something is in your control or not, and that might also raise some concerns, right? So that's difficult to draw the line on which moment
Yes.
to stop. We have this as business analysts. We have this saying, analysis paralysis.
Oh
That
my
we
God.
might be
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. I will use
overthinking,
that.
overanalyzing. Yeah. Smilen, are
Yes,
you back with us
yes.
now?
Let's see. Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
yeah, we can hear you now.
Fine.
Yeah. So, what tools and
I,
what techniques worked for you, or didn't work for you
so
when it
if we're
comes
talking
to
about
anxiety?
handling in
Hmm.
anxiety, anxiety, sorry,
Anxiety. Yep.
apologies, anxiety in my projects, I think that creating a priority list and making sure that you iterate over it, you fix the things that you are under your control, you pass it to someone that can do it, helps a lot. So you need to do this constantly through the day, through the month, through the year. Also, scheduling your own small goals or achievements also helps because you feel accomplished if you achieve those. You don't need to focus on the big war. If you win battle by battle, you'll get there. This is my approach to of handling the situations or handling fires. We have a lot of them, as Jan knows, in some projects. So even a small win is a win for the team and for yourself. And when we are talking about how we can segregate that, is I think there is also the mental and emotional side, like being with relatives, family helps for the emotional and the mental fortitude that you can bring to yourself because you can detach yourself from work. And from mental perspective, doing something active, it's very important. I agree with Olha that even if you watch podcasts or do something very passive, it's not helping. You need to be fully focused on that. Maybe because I'm a problem solver, I like writing code. So I spent one weekend doing something small. This helps a lot. As a delivery manager, you don't have such opportunities as you had when you were engineer. And I also like painting. I think this the creation of something small helps a lot. Like you can see it here. It's my own work. So I really enjoy doing this kind of thing because it's not related to IT at all, and you can focus on it and do it on your free time.
Mm-hmm. I think this is something someone told me that when you are tired physically, you go to sleep, you regenerate, the next day you're rested. But when you are tired mentally, even if you would be sleeping for a whole week, you might not rest. And that it's very important to switch the habits, change your mind, allow your mind to reset, to do something else, right? And just to like painting, assembling furniture, something that gives you again, this feeling of control, but also takes away the struggle of every day. And I think it's very important what you mentioned about those goals. But do you celebrate those goals? Do you somehow reward yourself for achieving something good?
Oh yes, unfortunately, I have one bad habit of mine: eating a lot of sweet. So creating your own habit or a system of habits helps a lot. I'm referring to a particular book, but I think it's very useful.
What about yourself?
So first of all, you brought here a very interesting group of people because mine is there, right? It's also mine.
You mean the book about habits?
No, the painting.
The painting.
The painting. Okay.
Yeah, I also have like all that in the background are mine, so we matched.
There are different kinds of anxiety, really, because even if you do things which should bring a peace in your mind in one part, can do a lot of, let's say, damage. Yes. Somewhere else, like this, right? So for example, I used to be a modeler, so I build the models, right? Not be a model. I have a mirror. I know what it says. Be a modeler. And when you focus on something and you try to, I don't know, paint in the scale 172, right? So you try to paint the all those panels and so on and so on. You have to be very careful, very steady, and very, very focused, right? And when you see that something is not going well, it's built up, right? And then, fortunately, in Polish, we have a couple of fine words starting on K and so on, which can help a lot. The same.
I like them also.
Yeah, the same with being a developer or DevOps and so on, right? It helps a lot as well. It doesn't work well on stage, I would say, so don't use it. However, for example, for me, the technique I'm using on stage, right? First of all, my anxiety is going completely out when I come in on the stage and start my talk, right? And then I'm powered like hell, right? So completely different than you, Jan. And the second thing, not officially, not confirmed by paper, but I know that I have this nice ADHD or whatever it is called in English, and I cannot stand in one place. I just can't. So those of you who saw me on the stage, you remember very well that I'm walking all the time, right? So, for example, things like meditation, which are very recommended for fighting with anxiety, for me, I can't, right? It goes in completely different direction. So you have to find your tool.
Absolutely. And with me and meditation, it's like the same emotion you just described. I just can't. I know that this is good. I know it's like 100 different ways to meditate. I still can't do none of them. Absolutely. It's not my tool. And I absolutely agree that you need to find your own. And from time to time, it also can be changed. Like in your 20s, you liked one tool, and in your 40s, you would like another one. It's completely okay.
Yeah, I mean, as we develop, and also the tools, and also I think the awareness of the well-being and mindfulness also evolves, because 20 years ago, people who are age of Paweł and myself, we are born in the generation that we just grind our teeth and we go straight through the day, whereas sometimes the younger generation feels empowered enough to actually raise their hand, raise their voice, and say, "Oh, actually, we feel anxious, we feel tired, we feel scared," and that is starting to be more and more heard, more and more visible, and that is like the voice that might actually bring some change into the future. But talking about the change into the future, Olga, I'm sure among your recipients of the training, there are sometimes leaders, managers. So, what do you think those people can do to actually better support the employees in terms of dealing with anxiety, or even helping to spot the symptoms of anxiety?
That is another tough question. So you leave.
Sorry.
Thank you once again for that. I was thinking about that a lot, actually. Why I was thinking a lot about this question, and why I think this question is a bit tough, because when we are creating like this extra caring management style, we have a risk of creating a not sustainable team, a team that is dependent of this good caring manager. And also we have like another risk. If we do nothing with anxiety in the workplace, we won't have people to deal with problems in the workplace. That's why I think that this question is really tough, because it really depends on the situation, on the person, of the tool we are using, of the tools, like not tools, but opportunities we have in the company. Because sometimes manager can refer a person to a coaching group or group of support, and this would be great, right? But in some companies there are no such things, so no such groups, and then manager tries to become a psychologist for this person, and it's bad idea in any scenario, but still you need to help this person somehow. So what I would say, like on the safer side, of course, raising awareness of anxiety, different causes, different manifestations, and how it influences the work. Creating a safe space to whine about something, because like whining meetings, like it's great, just to be here, just to say that I don't want to go to the call with this client because I'm anxious in front of him, and we listen and we don't judge on these calls, right? So okay, I understand sometimes I feel this way about other person and I feel about other, and we just whining and talking and yapping about something, and it could have a great effect because you still need to go to this meeting. But I know that you feel bad and I got you from right here, right? I'm not doing anything specific for you, just supporting, like standing behind and saying, you got this. You're a great specialist. You do fine. Everyone is sometimes out of breath. You are not special here. So please, you go, you do a job, and you will do great, and you will have a great experience that you later can share with others how you dealt with this situation. So support, but not too much support, right? Not parental support, not psychological support, just adult human to adult human, nice support and trusted environment, so we can share what is a problem.
So that's how it looks from the theoretical point of view. Smilen, how does it look in practice? You are a senior manager, so how have you helped people with anxiety, or have you spotted and supported and assisted in your actions? And again, we cannot hear you. So again, still something wrong. Maybe double muted.
No.
Is it better now?
Oh, now it's better. Yes. Oh, now we lost Milan completely.
Okay, this is better,
Yeah.
He did unexpected. He raised anxiety levels of our group.
Exactly. Well, at least he was able to avoid the anxiety of answering this question, right? Being put on the spot.
True.
So So at least that's that.
That is a tool.
So let's see now. Smilen rejoined.
Is it better now?
Yes. Although we cannot see you. Oh, so now we can see you and now we can hear you.
I think I'm still hitting the mute button. So let me continue. Well, from management perspective, I agree with Olha that you cannot be a parent to your people, and this is not helping at all. My view is that we are grown people, so we need to understand our position and how we can help each other. And unfortunately, there is a lot on the shoulders of a manager, because most of the root causes for anxiety are actually caused by unrealistic deadlines, expectations, timelines, lack of transparency of what is expected or what should be the right culture. I think one of the challenges that EPAM has always faced is that somehow we expect people to be emotionally intelligent to work into entirely different environments. We're talking about EPAM, what we call internal EPAM culture.
Maybe again, lost Smilen. Smilen, something is again wrong with the audio.
Your audio is sabotaging you.
Yeah.
Please hold. Your headset will be updated in a second.
No.
And still no. That's interesting.
No.
Okay, Smilen, again, we'll get back to you with the continuation of the answer in just a few seconds. But it's a good thing that at least you can hear us.
Yeah.
Paweł, how it looks like from the employee standpoint of view. What would you expect from the managers? What would you expect from yourself as a leader?
Right. As not an EPAMer anymore, I can say a few things. Right? No, I'm kidding. First of all, it's not only the EPAM part. I agree completely with Smilen about the two ways of work in the same place, right? Everywhere where you are, like, let's say, hired as a contractor, it is very similar, right? It doesn't matter if this is a big company like EPAM or small, I don't know, 10, 20 people, right? It can happen in the same way. And I can agree with all of you with saying, like, treat other people like you want to be treated, except when you are a psycho kind of thing, right? So that may be not the best way. But anyway, I think that this is very important to keep this on some specific level. Don't be a parent. Yes, I agree this here completely. But the problem is, and Smilen already said a little bit about us, about the unrealistic timelines, a lot of different tasks, and so on and so on and so on. And this leads on the bottom, right, to, well, let me call it politically correctly in this way, to differences between expectation in the management level and possibilities of what can be done on the bottom level, right? So we as engineers, we very often are really angry when we hear how many things we have to do and how we should do it. So here is my keyboard, do it for me, right? This is the first thing. You are here, you as a manager, you are here to tell me what are the plan, and I am executing this plan, right? Don't tell me how to execute it. Because if you want to execute it, you should be on my place, not go for the promotion to be manager. And I'm blunt here, okay? Because I've been on both sides of this barricade. And
also committing to the deadlines that someone else has committed to, yeah?
Exactly.
It's not your commitment, right?
Right, and looking for what I saw at EPAM, right? So when you become a delivery manager, you have to your responsibilities started to be much more broader than they were before, and you have to like combine in your mind a lot more of information, a lot more of facts. I'm not speaking about, leading the project itself, but there are elements which you are not familiar with, right? You were developer, you were, I don't know, DevOps, you were architect, whatever. Now you are delivery manager. You have much more on your plate. So you are not able to understand every single corner, dark corners especially, of the technology you are speaking about. Right?
But I think also when you reach a certain level of mastery, you need to let go of the things you were doing as a developer.
Exactly.
Meaning,
So, let me tell you this. A few months ago, I started to pass AWS exams one by one, and I almost failed the easiest one after having more than 10 years of experience.
How come?
Because I am somewhere else now.
Okay, so it's like when you drive the car, you drive it completely different than when you go for the driving exam. And that,
Exactly.
with the years of experience, it's just
Exactly.
a bit more challenging.
Probably, in our case, I don't want to speak for you, but probably most of us would have problems on the driving exams.
The bad habits, yeah. I mean, I've recently approached the exam for one of the Agile certifications, and exactly the bad habits of project experience goes quite against the theory, right?
Yeah, and honestly speaking, my anxiety during this exam was really high. Like first question, okay, question. Second, okay, what's going on here, right? And it was problematic, right? So ability to, let's say, do the self calm down is very important here. Just stop, close your eyes for a second. I don't know, do whatever can help you, right? And come back to this.
To bring
right?
yourself to the moment.
Yeah.
Which actually falls very nicely to the question that actually Nalini has asked in the Q&A, because she asked, when anxious, I go to the freeze mode. Any tips when you are in the freeze mode to come out of it? So yeah, that would be one of the tips. For example, to just bring yourself to the moment, yeah, to stop and try to regain control. Smilen, are you back with us?
I hope so.
Yes, you are with
Can
us.
you hear? Yeah.
Yes. So coming back to my question, anything you would like to add from the managerial point of view when it comes to helping with anxiety?
I think the issue with delivery management or any management in the world is that people think that this is some kind of a reward. When you get promoted, you think that, oh, great, now I can do whatever I like, or I can pass the things that I don't like to the next person. When in reality, when in reality it's actually the other way. Now you need to do the things that you don't feel comfortable doing. Like, I don't like negotiating or speaking with clients, but now my role expects it. I need to get better at it. And I think this is the issue with many people, is that if you're anxious before you were promoted, now you're promoted, you cannot pass the more complicated items to someone else, and the anxiety actually increases, and now you suffer from the so-called imposter syndrome as well. Which creates a very unfriendly for yourself environment. And I think this is one of the reasons many managers actually do not stand their ground and agree to client, because from their perspective, it's a fight that they don't want to have. Like, they step outside their ways. And I think one of the things that we need to do, and maybe I'm too technical for many reasons, I think that delivery managers should spend some time doing something with their own skills, like code something small or do some small task, because we tend to forget how difficult small tasks were in complicated systems and environments. And we are easy to promise something that, I was a good developer, so I remember changing a small field here and there on the web page, adding something to the contract of the API, something that's very easy. It's a couple of days. So when people tell me, it takes now 2 sprints or 1 sprint, and I'm like, what's happening? No, reality is the environments are getting more complicated, and we as managers should understand this complication, because this actually creating anxiety across the whole team or the whole organization. It's not something like many people say, oh, you're anxious. It's a personal issue. No, in many organizations, it's actually a structural organizational issue if most of the people feel stressful at work. That's the reality. And managers should work to actually handle this.
Yeah. I really love what you said, really, because it's like as many of us knows, it's 2 lines of code and 5 minutes of work, right? So do it, please. But Jan, you asked me to say from this perspective of being in completely covered in the hole of mud. But honestly, being a manager, you have much more surfaces to be scratched. Really. And we have to remember about that, right? And from one side, as manager, you have to think about, let's call it well-being, like, in general of your team. But, well, as a team, and this will be unpopular, as a team, you should also help your manager to find his well-being.
Yep, definitely. Which also actually brings us to the question that Alicia has raised. So, Alicia, thank you for this question. Do you communicate your anxiety or think that it's too much to your manager if it affects your capacity or motivation? And if yes, how to ask for leveraging the workload, not to be seen as weak or frustrated? So maybe, Smilen, how would you like your employees with whom you work for them to communicate this to you? Or do you communicate that to your managers?
I think it depends on the environment and the life cycle of a team. Like in many senior teams, especially in EPAM, we are using Scrum. Jan, you're aware of that. We had a couple of conversations, one outstanding actually, about the benefits of Scrum. But one of the benefits of Scrum is that it creates this kind of windows that can be used by the team. Like you can have retrospectives. I'm a senior delivery manager, so I'm not joining all the retrospective of all my teams. But there is an environment where they can share if they feel stressed out without this having a direct impact on the client.
Smilen, try to guess what I'm about to say.
You should say shorter words, shorter sentences. Maybe this will.
And still that doesn't work. So, same as last time, we'll get back to you in a second. So,
we'll
Olga?
circle back.
Yes.
I have an example. I don't know if that's an example that someone's want to hear right now, but it's really good and I like it. It's my personal example. When I was like in the process of thinking, should I deliver this big and really difficult for me training program? Like it was really not my expertise. I have a really good expertise, but this training is much complicated than I used to. But there was a possibility that I won't do that. And I was going to use this possibility. I came to my manager and I said, I really don't want to deliver this training. Please don't make me do this. I'm really anxious. It's outside of my expertise. I'm not sure I will be useful for participants in this role. So please don't make me do this. I was blunt. I was honest about my anxiety, and my manager said, "Oh, it's absolutely fine. Let's do this. You will go to this program as a participant. You will see how it delivers, and after that, we will talk." I did just that. After I came back, I still have some anxieties and I still didn't want to do that. My manager still was in the same place. Like, I believe in you. You can do this. You are not obligated to do it like today or tomorrow. you still have time to learn, you still have time to grow within your expertise. But I still believe that you can do it like next month or months after that. So please try to gather the data and come back to me. So long story short, I'm delivering this training right now and I have absolutely no problem with it. So that's why sometimes you can do like these honest reviews on your anxieties with your manager, and your manager is not necessarily will take this job from you. Maybe they provide some other perspectives on how to do this job easier and better. And you will thank them because I'm thanking my manager for that. I really like that training.
Mhm. But also, I think it's very important to be vocal whenever you feel really
Yes,
overburdened or overwhelmed. That
absolutely.
if you will not resist and you will keep adding to your work plate, and I know that sometimes we fall into this trap that, oh, I was a senior, now I am a lead, now I am a chief, now I'm a manager, so it means I need to do all of the tasks of my previous positions plus so many more of the new positions, right? And so, and if I was delivering before all of my tasks, then if I get new responsibilities, I need to deliver that as well. But guess what? Suddenly you will run out of time, and then you will need to overtime, and you will not want to let anyone go, let down. So you will then start stressing out about this overtiming, and that will lead to the burnout in the long run. So if we will not raise our voice and we will not speak out about actually us feeling overwhelmed or depressed, maybe there is a possibility we can ask Smilen when he will come back. Maybe there's a possibility to somehow adjust the timelines, rework the meeting schedule or something. Uh, but just the management is not aware of the struggles that we are going through on a day-to-day basis, right? So that's why I think we really need to be able to speak out and be honest about it, right? But also with the working from home, if we are spending 12 hours in front of the computer, it doesn't mean that we are working 12 hours, right? So also let's be honest with ourselves. Like, have we really put in the work, and is it really too much on our plate, or is it just really only our perception that we are overwhelmed and the workload is just too much?
In this case, I'm not like in full agreement with what you said, because every person reacts differently, right? And one
Of course.
person can have like 5-minute break, and that will be fine. Another will need more time to bring back themselves, right? So it's not. The problem is that we see this 8, 12, how many hours doesn't matter of work is something what we, well, let me say this, understand in the wrong way, okay? In both sides. Because I'm not saying that it's what we as our employees often do, like spending 45 times on coffee or whatever, 45 minutes or something like that, right, is good, because it's not. However, you can't be like in full focus for 8 hours straight.
Sure.
You just can't.
Goes without saying.
Absolutely. And you can't be productive also, like for
Yep.
these long periods of time.
Yes, and what you said, Olha, on the beginning is quite resonating with me, because I believe, maybe I'm naive. I know I'm naive. That I believe that trust, transparency, and honesty, and communication, and collaboration really works. And with those 4 or 5, I don't know even how many I count. I said, you can do much more in terms of timelines and so on than you can expect.
Sure.
Absolutely, yes.
Smilen, are you back with us now?
Yes, but from my phone for now.
Okay. So at least we can hear you. So I don't know whether you remember the question, but I can repeat that one more time. So the question that was raised by Alicia was how to communicate the anxiety when you are feeling that the work that you have is too much and that this affects your capacity and motivation, and how to ask for leveraging the workload so that you will not seem as weak or frustrated.
I think it's more important to feel confident in your teammates, so you can share this in environment that will be accepted. Not all people have this kind of opportunities, so raising this with your resource manager helps a lot because they can have EPAM is organized in a way where resource managers are not always directly involved, so they can play the role of an outsider. I think this helps a lot. And having a direct team lead and sharing this information with them, it's also helpful because, again, I think all people understand that you cannot be full-time, 100% focused on what you're doing. Sometimes the work is not easy or interesting, or people are complaining that the work is not challenging enough. But then, if it's too challenging, now people have anxiety or stress, and now you need to take care of this. I think it's important to understand what are the priorities. Try to time box it, and always search for help. You're not operating on your own.
Yeah, I think this is also very, very important aspect that there was this meme about one guy digging the hole, and around them there's a lot of managers like delivery manager, communication manager, HR manager, accounting manager, resource manager, people manager, whatever. But the fact is that those people, they still care about that one particular employee, right? So it shows that this one employee can be surrounded by many people who can help, who can assist, who have their well-being at mind, right? So it's just really, again, being vocal, raising the voice, raising the concern that there is
Who
actually
is naive
something.
here now?
Well, I've always been naive, so I'm not resisting that statement. But the thing is
No,
that
sometimes it's true. Sometimes it's true, yes.
And
Yeah.
sometimes it's working.
Yeah, I mean, the first step to solve a problem is admit that there's a problem to be solved. Yeah, so I think that's,
Yeah.
but also to allow ourselves the self-awareness that actually, yes, I am in help. Yes, I need assistance. Like I remember in my previous company, I was a senior QA, and I was thinking every single task I need to do by myself because I'm a senior. I need to do it by myself. Things are expected of me, right? But if I would go and ask someone for help, for assistance, I would be able to do a task in 2 days instead of, for example, 5 or 10, right? And the saving of the 3 business days in terms of cost of operation is quite significant, right? So looking from that point of view, it's also, it requires a bit of courage to admit I need help. Yeah,
Of
but
course.
but I think it's a good starting point to tackle that. Another question which I have for you is, what do you think is the misconception about or anxiety, or what is one of the myths that you came across when it comes to dealing with anxiety in tech? So Paweł, maybe let's start with you now.
Good question. Honestly, I am not sure. I don't know if there are any myths about it or not, because again, we are, different pieces of biological software. So all of us works differently. So whatever operates like a, urban legend can be truth, right? So I wouldn't risk to talk here about myths, right? Because I saw different scenarios, right? Even with almost passing out and things like that. So no, I will not answer to this question. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, sure, no worries. I mean, that's also a very good answer. That we don't want to feel anxious about putting someone on the spot and expect the answer, right? So Good
That's
way
the
to
way. That's
respond.
the scenario how you should use it.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah, so we
No, we
here
didn't
are
plan it.
not only talking about the tools, we're demonstrating them, right? So, and this is a work in progress. So I actually can agree with Paweł on that.
Oof. Thank you.
Because of the actual different scenarios I witnessed and I lived through. So first thing that popped to my mind was that anxious conditions are more productive for teams. I can say that this is a myth, but also I can say that this is not a myth. Like at the same time, the anxious conditions, like what do I mean? So when we have a lot of uncertainty, when we have a lot of changes, so it's not comfortable to work in this team, so this team would be more productive. Sometimes it's true, and sometimes it's absolutely destroying everything that was built in this team. That's why I agree with Paweł. I cannot name like the actual myth about anxiety in the workplace, especially tech place.
To add what you said, because this is very important. You can have this moment where there is a huge anxiety in the team and works just flow like crazy, but then you have to, slow down and so on and so on. For example, from completely different perspective, of course, the space shuttles are not working now, right? But when space shuttle, took off, there was a moment where the engines were on 104 or 5% of the power. For a moment, and it worked, right?
Yeah.
Longer.
Yeah,
Engine start. Engine kaput.
Yeah.
You cannot maintain that high performance. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
So there's also a necessity to regenerate. As we are approaching the end of the event, I have one last question for you. But as we will be waiting for the answer from you for that question, I will also share the screen once again, and I will share with our audience the link to the Mentimeter, so that whoever is still with us might participate in the voting for the topic of the next episode. Plus, also, dear experts, if you would like to participate in the voting, you might also have that opportunity to select which of the topics you would like to have our experts covered in the next episode. So the link has been shared. I encourage each and every one of you to participate in voting to select the topic for the 13th episode. But the last question which I have for you is that, knowing what you know right now, with all of the years of experience that you have in the IT industry, what kind of advice would you give to yourself at the start of the career when it comes to dealing with anxiety? So, Olga, we started with you with the first question.
Okay, I can be first because I have
You
one
can be?
short.
You go.
Yeah, okay.
Thank
So
you.
for me, I would say to myself, don't be anxious about anxiety.
That's cool.
Okay.
That's cool. I like that. Can I say the same thing,
Please go.
Can I be a copycat here? Because I really like that. Really like that. Don't be anxious about anxiety. Absolutely. Don't be scared of it. Like it's okay to not to be okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
And Smilen, it would be really hard for you. We are sorry.
Smilen,
Oh,
are you back with us?
You can just agree with us.
Oh, I agree totally. I think one of the misconceptions was that it somehow disappears when you get more experience. It's not. It will be there always as a shadow to yourself. So you need to do something creative with it. And I found out that essentially creating spots where you can do, for example, a gym, because motivation also does not work for me. I think we have too many commonalities here. But anxiety can be used for something to drive you forward. Like you can hit the gym, you can do sports, you can make sure that you take more time with your relatives and friends. This helps a lot. And because it will be always there, you cannot expect to, correct it, fix it, or heal it. You just accept that it will be there and you continue with your life.
I think this is something that also what Paweł mentioned, right? About the befriending this anxiety.
I was
Right.
mentioning it
So,
also.
yeah.
Yes,
So
you were the first
actually,
one.
yeah. If you just if you can beat them, join them, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So that might be
True.
also the case. Um, all right. That said, looking at the votes that we have at the moment, not many votes came in. I mean, we have 11 votes out of 13 people who joined the Mentimeter. So maybe there'll still be one more vote coming in. But it seems that the topic for the next episode will actually be the aspect of the storytelling. So we'll definitely look for the experts who will be able to cover that topic. Of course, we invite Paweł, Olga, and Smilen. If you would like to be an expert in the next episode, then of course you are more than
You should
welcome
invite
to.
yourself.
Well, I cannot. I'm just the moderator here, so I wish I would be able to
You can
participate
delegate.
in that. But nevertheless, it's just showing the results, so we can see that yes, storytelling has been the number one option selected by our audience. Oh, actually, even 5 votes right now for the storytelling. So that would be the topic for the episode 13. For now, let me just say that it has been an absolute pleasure delivering this meeting for all of you and to have these wonderful experts. So Olga, Paweł, Smilen, it's been great to have you here today. Any last words for our audience before we close off the call?
No.
No, okay. Beautiful dealing with
Drink,
anxiety.
drink chamomile tea. That's my go-to recommendation with anxiety.
All right, Smilen.
That's actually a good one.
Yeah, just the same. Before or after yoga.
Exactly. All right. So thank you so much for being here with us today. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Please stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, and I will see you again in the next episode of the Let's Ask Expert session. Bye, everyone.
Thank you,
See you
Jan,
next
for moderation. Bye-bye. Take care,
Bye.
everyone.
Goodbye.